Good morning, Biafrans. Good morning. If you join me, please share and subscribe. Where are you watching from? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Where are you watching? Thank you for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location. Appreciate your presence. Appreciate your presence. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time and sharing to platforms. If you join me, share it to platforms. Let's get our message preached to the world. Good morning. Oh my goodness me. My sister Helen Peters, it's like you are waiting for me. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning from here. How was your night? Okay, I don't know your time this morning, but from my location it's morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. We have to do what we have to do. The message of freedom must be preached. The message of redemption, we must preach it. Our leader, DavidNnannah, have done so much more. He has created that awareness for us. He has brought us this far, to this stage that we are. Our Prime Minister as well, Mazi Simon Ekwanjoko, have brought us this far. Now that we are in government, we have lots and lots of work to do. Educating our people is one of the jobs that have rest on our shoulders. Wow. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. in the night, right? Here it's around 10 a.m. So our Prime Minister have done more than enough, bringing us this far, that we are now in a government. We are now in a government. We have a lot to do. Okay, then we have the same time. Okay, we have like 2 hours. You are 2 hours ahead of us. Okay. Okay, my sister, it's morning. Okay, you're welcome. So our Prime Minister have done much. He have brought us to this government that we are. And each and every one of us will have an onerous task to continue to educate our people and preach the message. Let our people understand what is needed at this time. So I appreciate everybody that joins me. If you join us, please, you can as well indicate where you have joined from. Very, very important. This morning, we are going to look into an issue or a report. There is a report from REUTERS a Canadian-based news outlet or news media. You know, they are good at carrying out propaganda against us. They are good at propagating all manner of propaganda against Biafra. Biafra is their problem. Biafra is their problem, and Biafra will be their undoing. One thing that the Nigerian government have succeeded in doing, they have been able to buy all the international news outlets all around the world. Because they have money, they have finance, like our leader said, Nigerian government earmarked over $20 billion. $20 billion, they just set that money aside, going all around the world to bribe all the news medias not to carry our news. The ones that were to carry our news, they will write it in a negative way to portray Biafra as evil. So Nigerian government succeeded in making sure that CNN never talks about the atrocities that they are committing in our land. They make sure that Al Jazeera atrocities that they are committing in our land. They paid all these news outlets heavily. They bought their silence, advising and admonishing them whenever they see our news that they should look the other way. They should not talk about it, because to them, it will indict them in their atrocious activities in our communities and in our states. So ndị Nigeria na-eme ihe niile ha kwesịrị ime to make sure that nobody carries our news on a positive light. And those of them who they did not instruct them not to carry our news, they bought them and tell them to, whenever they want to write anything about us, they should portray us on a negative light. And that is why, with all the killings that is happening in our territory today, with all the bombings that is happening in Biafra land, all the disappearances, all the kidnappings, more importantly, all the killings by the Nigerian army and police, no news media will report it, even when they are aware. Because I don't think there is any world leading media that is not in Nigeria. They don't have offices in Nigeria, in Abuja at least. They have offices. Then you ask yourself, why are they not getting the news? Why are they not reporting it? Why would they report it? Even they have their embassies, or what do you call their high commissions in Nigeria. They cannot report anything negative about Nigeria to the world. They paint Nigeria in a very good light, whereas they actually know that Nigeria is evil. They actually know that Nigeria is committing genocide against the indigenous people, indigenous population in that contraption. They know that very well, but they will always portray Nigeria in a positive light. Even as they put it at the right positive things about Nigeria, their conscience will be pricking them, because they actually know that they are lying. They are lying to themselves. And no matter how positive light, Nigerians know that Nigeria is evil. So that their positivity only reflects on paper. In reality, there is nothing positive about Nigeria. So that is why when somebody is killed in Biafra land, when communities are burned in Biafra land, when Biafrans are being assassinated, the Nigerian government, news medias, everybody will keep mute. Everybody will not say it, nobody will report it. That is why we are reporting our news. We are creating the awareness of what is happening to us. And anytime we see any news that have come to portray us in a bad light, in a negative way, as a propaganda by the Nigerian state, we have to come and debunk it. We have to come and debunk it. Very, very important, because if you don't debunk it, it will look as if it's the truth. So my wonderful people and lovers of freedom, welcome. As you come in, please share, comment, and like as well. You can as well indicate where you are watching us from, so that we will appreciate your presence. Like I've just appreciated the presence of my sister from the coastal region of Biafra, one of the gallant X-stars, the people that make it happen on X space. Helen Peters from the Isoko Urobo, Axis of Biafran territory. These are one of the propagandas of the Nigerian state. They were telling you that, oh, Isoko Urobo is not Biafra. Igodomi Igodo is not Biafra. Esan is not Biafra. Agbo is not Biafra. Ishekiri is not Biafra. Ijo is not Biafra. This is the propaganda, the narrative of the Nigerian state, that they are divide and conquer, divide and rule. They used it for a very long time, but now it has expired. Our people now know that we are one people. We are one people under God. We are Biafrans. Because if you go to Google and you ask Google, the next cousin to Ijo, Ishekiri, he will tell you Igbo. That is the irony of it. And besides, one of the characteristics or the criteria for you to know that you are Igbo is in your culture, in your history. If you are women, tie 2 pieces of wrapper. Anywhere there are women tie 2 pieces of wrapper, you know that these people are Biafrans. We are Igbo. We are one people, Ndibo. Okay? So, if you are mother tie 2 piece wrapper, I want you to know yourself you are automatically Igbo, because it is only Igbos and Biafrans that their women tie 2 pieces of wrapper. Other people tie 1. So that is something that is so peculiar with us. We have 4 market days. Eke, Oye, Afo, and Nkwo. Okay? We have the same set of food. We cook the same way. In fact, our women are so beautiful. If you see Helen Peter, you understand what I mean. Our women are exceptionally beautiful. So we are a special breed of humans. Special Biafrans. Anywhere you see them, there is something that distinguishes us from other people. And that is why you see the envy, you see the jealousy that they have against us in that contraption called Nigeria. They hated us. Even with the passion that they hate us, they don't want us to leave Nigeria. You don't like somebody, and you don't want that person to leave you. So, what do you want? What actually is on our problem? Nigerians, what do you want? You talk about Biafra, they come against Biafra. They come against Biafra. But in the Nigeria that all of us we are together, they never wanted us to be anything. They tried to destroy us. They prevented us from, participating in political offices and positions. They gave their positions to all their almajiris. But yet they don't want us to leave the Nigeria. We now say we want to leave. You people don't want us to leave. And that is why we have left you guys. We are in Biafra. We have redeclared our nation Biafra. And we are on the recognition aspect of Biafra. And that is why everywhere is now kata kata kiti kiti. You know, Nigeria cannot understand what is actually happening. And that is why they come to our communities, invading our communities, trying to stop us from exiting totally. But they can't stop us from doing that. They can't succeed. We have exited Nigeria, and total eviction of the terrorists in our land is what we are focusing at this time. So, like I said, this morning, there was a report from REUTERS. REUTERS is a Canadian-based news outlet. In that report that is shared on in my X account, REUTERS was saying that the sit-at-home has claimed over 700 lives in the southeast. Wow. That the sit-at-home that the Biafran people agreed to sit have claimed over 700 lives. Then I want to walk you through the reason for the sit-at-home in the first place. 19th of June 2021, DavidNnannah BTV was kidnapped from Kenya. Our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, who is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB then. Then on the 19th of June 2021, our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, was kidnapped from Kenya. 10 days later, on the 29th, we saw our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, in handcuffs. He was covered like an ordinary criminal, and we saw him in the Nigerian court. Biafran people were so much angered by that singular treatment of our leader, DavidNnannah BTV. First and foremost, what is the crime of our leader for him to be kidnapped? And I want everybody that is listening to understand that kidnapping is a crime. That is what Nigerians don't know, especially all these sophisticated morons and intellectuals who went to school but didn't pass through school in Nigeria. Kidnapping is a crime. So for Nigeria going to Kenya to kidnap DavidNnannah BTV, what it means is that Nigeria have committed a crime, international crime for that matter. So when DavidNnannah BTV was kidnapped and Biafrans all of a sudden saw DavidNnannah BTV in Nigeria, Biafrans now, that was then when the DOS was still a little bit active. Then Biafrans now decided to pronounce a sit-at-home in all the Biafran territories. The sit-at-home was one for the release of our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, because he committed no crime. DavidNnannah BTV committed no crime known to man. So since 2021 up to this moment that you are seeing this video, Biafrans are sitting at home for the continued detention of our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, who committed no crime. So what this REUTERS is telling you, this fake news media or this propagandist who is an arm, extension of the Nigerian terrorist news media that is based in Canada, what they are telling you is that the sit-at-home have caused 700 lives in the southeast. Well, the problem is that they were not able to explain to their audience how this 700 come about. How come REUTERS, who is based in Canada, was able to count the number of people that have died and arrive at that figure, 700 people? And they did not give you who is responsible for these 700 deaths. They only wrote that it has cost the life of 700 people in order to tarnish the image of our government and our people who are voluntarily sitting at home. So, writers, if you are telling us that 700 people have lost their lives at the cost of this sit at home, we want you to tell us who killed all these 700 people. How did they die? Because we know that we, the Biafran people, are sitting at home. We also know that each day we are sitting at home, every Monday sit at home, the Nigerian government will come out to enforce the sit at home. Okay? The Biafran people are sitting at home demanding the release of DavidNnannah BTV, who Nigerian government went to Kenya to kidnap. As a matter of fact, this sit at home is voluntary. Our government made it a voluntary. Rather, we encourage our people, we encourage and advise our people to always sit at home because they are safer sitting at home. Sit at home is civil disobedience. It's a civil disobedience that is used against the government to register our displeasure, our unhappiness on the way, the treatment they are treating to our leader. That is why the Biafran people are voluntarily sitting at home. Nobody was forced to sit at home. Nobody is forced to sit at home. Even yesterday was another sit at home. And we saw videos online where Biafrans were sitting at home. At least now, Biafrans have been accustomed to every Monday sit at home. So when REUTERS is telling you that, oh, it has cost 700 lives, and they could not expatiate on that figure, how they come about that figure, it is a red flag, and you should raise an eyebrow how they arrive at that particular figure. Very, very important we understand that REUTERS is an international news media based in Canada, and Nigerian government will do everything humanly possible, which they have done. Of course, they have succeeded in silencing CNN. They have succeeded in silencing Al Jazeera, and every other news media that we talk, we only talk from their own positive side and at the negative side of Biafran people. So that is why you see these REUTERS that is also based in Nigeria. One thing that Nigerian government does very well, we know them for. Nigeria is a very corrupt entity. Nigeria is known for its corruption. Their leaders are corrupt. And we also understand that any news media that is in Nigeria, Nigeria will go at every length to buy their silence, to buy them over to themselves, so that there is no positive news that will come out against the Nigerian state. Most of the news that you see that is coming out against the Nigerian state is being sent out there by people, locals, who are independent of the government, who are not depending on the government for their news. Okay, but any news agency that is in Nigeria have come to Nigeria to make money. So before they can release any such information, they first of all has to consult the Nigerian government. Oh, we have this information, we want to release it to the general public. The Nigerian government will first of all vet this information, look at it, how it is going to profit them, how it's going to speak positive light about them, and how it's going to tarnish the image of Biafran people. So REUTERS is not an exception, and that is why They have come out with this nonsensical propaganda telling the world, oh, that 700 people have died at the cost of this sit at home. But they did not go as far much as telling the Biafrans or the world that this 700 dead that he is talking about was caused by the Nigerian state. This is why we are here this morning, my wonderful people and lovers of freedom. You see, our leader DavidNnannah BTV told us that this fight, this freedom that we are looking for, that we are fighting for, is not going to come very easy. That we have a lot of enemies. We have a lot of internal enemies and external enemies. When he is talking about external enemies, he is talking about those who are supposed to report the information. He is talking about those who are policymakers. He is talking about those who are in government. He is talking about those who should have journalists, news medias, and other people who supposedly should have brought the information of the atrocities that is happening to the general public, that these people may turn against us. So it is expected, whatever we are seeing today, whatever we see happening today against our liberation and against our freedom is expected. It's expected because DavidNnannah BTV made that prophecy long time ago. He made you and I to understand that we have to turn a lot of stones in order to get our destination. That we have to, surmount a lot of obstacles, a lot of hurdles on the way. We have to jump over hurdles in order to get to our destination. And one of the hurdles that we have to jump through is this media hurdle, this media propagandists, these bloggers. Most of them are bloggers. They have to make money. They have to create content for their viewers to make money online. So anything, and in this era, if you want to make money, you talk about Biafra, because they know that over 80 million Biafrans who are all around the world are listening, searching for information that relates to them, that talks about them. So these people will go at every length to write all manner of junk news against our people, against us, and against our freedom. And that is why when you see such information coming out on the social media, I want you to know that these are propaganda that they are using against us. But this their propaganda will never stand. Ofuro Emmanuel, I salute you from here. Thank you, Mwachineke. Thank you for joining me. Please share, like and share. I see what you wrote. Sitting at home is the smallest sacrifice we can give to those who have given everything for us to be free. Yes, of course. Yes, just like our brother of rest just said. Sit at home. Monday sit at home. This is the smallest sacrifice, according to our brother. The little sacrifice that you as a Biafran can give for your freedom. DavidNnannah BTV has been on detention since 2021. He is paying a lot of sacrifices. Every day, you as a Biafran, you wake up, you go to your business, you do whatever you want to do, you socialize, go to your work and come back, in fact, you do things at your own time. But our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, is being held. He was kidnapped and held against his wish. He cannot do the thing that you are doing. And why is he doing that? Because he is paying a sacrifice. This is the price he has to pay for Biafra to be restored. So sit at home is the little contribution of sacrifice that you can make to support the freedom, not only of your people, but of yourself as well, because you are not free. So sit at home is a sacrifice. that every one of us have to make until Biafra is restored. Very, very important. And one thing that, and let me talk about this, about what is happening recently. What is happening recently, like I told you, our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, said that we have enemies within and without, in-house enemies and those who are outside, who are fighting us from outside. The sabotage that we are having that is so painful is the ones that are from inside, the in-house enemies. Just like before the convention, Ngozi Orabueze, Ishinaka Nimapota, Senior DPM, na Simon Mekwerenka, Simon Emehi and Kozo. Ngozi Orabueze is an in-house enemy because he was part of the government. He was part of the brigade. He was the COS to the prime minister. He was working in the office of the prime minister. So she was using that, capitalized on that position that the prime minister gave to her, and was sabotaging the government, tried to sabotage the government, tried to run the government over. And one of the things she succeeded in doing by that action is the divisions that we have at this moment, although a lot of our people are coming back. A lot of people are now coming back after seeing the red flags of Ngozi Orabueze, after seeing all the atrocity that she has committed. Ngozi Orabueze told you that all the lobbies that are working for us, our attorneys, that they are criminals. You can imagine that. People that are working with our prime minister, Ngozi Orabueze said that those people are criminals. Ngozi Orabueze was fighting the Biafran Defense Forces, calling them kidnappers. So if you are a Biafran and you listen to all these things, allegations against our Biafran Defense Forces, men and women who are defending our land, are you going to say that Ngozi Orabueze was fighting for Biafra? Of course not. And she come over and tell you that she is a member of the People's Club of Nigeria. So, not that she was, that she is, which means she is still a member up to tomorrow. So these are some of the things that when you hear, when you see her do it, you actually know that she is not fighting for our freedom. Now, the same thing applies to one of us who was with us here, Biafra Unite. Biafra Unite was somebody that I love so much, somebody that I was following, I was looking up to him. Because see, when our prime minister was here, he need to join in what we are doing. Our prime minister used to commend him. But we understand, I am atago ebe minisi weba no pu bogre. We have known the cause of what his problem is. But it is quite unfortunate, people in his own category or that find themselves in his position, what they should have done, they just go inside and keep quiet. Okay? They just go inside and keep mute. In as much as you are in the homeland, and maybe Ngozi Orabueze have discovered your hideout, or she knows where you are broadcasting from, and they are threatening you, you change your location. Either you change your location or you leave Biafran territory. That would have been the best thing for Biafra Unite to do. Because as long as your enemy, as long as those who are fighting against freedom see that you as a Biafran fighting for freedom, if they can buy you over, they will eliminate you. So now that Biafran Unite have just used this platform to be fighting against our government, it's just, is very, very surprising. That is very, very surprising. Somebody like Biafran Unite now telling you that our government is not doing enough. Now telling you that the money that the government is donating, they are not using it. You can imagine that. I want you all to understand, like our Prime Minister said, there are many dimensions, multidimensionally, We are fighting this freedom in a multi-dimensional approach. There is a template that was laid down, that was put in place, that will be followed for Biafra to be restored. The Biafran Charter is the guiding principle of our government for this template to be followed to the latter. So now, our government is doing the needful. The problem that we have at this time, the problem is finance. While our Prime Minister was here with us, we were all donating to one purse. Everybody were together. Everybody were contributing. Everybody was contributing. We are donating for the government. The government is Biafran Republic government in exile. Now, Biafran Unite is coming out to tell you that the government of Biafra now belongs to Ogechukwu Nkere. You can imagine that, doing everything to fight against our government. This is the same thing that Ngozi Orabufulani is doing. So will you now say that Biafran Unite is not working for Ngozi Orabueze? The Biafran Republic government in exile that was instituted and have cabinet members is now telling you they are working for Ogechukwu Nkere. You can imagine that. What a lie. What a lie. Each and every one of us should understand that Ogechukwu Nkere came into this government as the acting prime minister because of the absence of our prime minister. Okay? Because of the absence of our prime minister. And the Biafran Charter. Each time we refer to the Biafran Charter, yes, because this is the guiding principle of our government. Everything about our government, how we should be run, is stipulated in the Biafran Charter. Okay? Now, the Biafran Charter stipulated that if the Prime Minister is incapacitated, if the Prime Minister is not available, cannot be available for a period of time, it is the responsibility of the government to come together and elect somebody who will be acting on his behalf until he rejoins the government. Now, each and every one of us understand that while the Prime Minister was here with us, when the Prime Minister was here with us, Ogechukwu Nkere, who is also the Finance Minister, he was being sent to America to meet the Congress and hand them some of the documents of our government. So he was doing that work while the Prime Minister was here, okay? Now, when the Prime Minister was called for questioning on the 18th of November 2024, and we were thinking that, oh, he will come out today, he will come out tomorrow, Up to the convention, we did not see our Prime Minister. Okay, and in governance, nature abhors a vacuum. Since the Prime Minister is not there, there must be a leader who will control, who will be, a spokesperson for the government, who will be in charge for the government, since the Prime Minister is not there, and since we have a government, okay? Now, the Biafran cabinet members, the Brigade cabinet members now came together and called for a meeting. That meeting, 2 people came out to contest for the office of the acting prime minister. Okay? And let me just remind me, I'm just trying to make it quicker because it is the responsibility of the Conflict Resolution Committee, CRC, whose chairman is Imam Madabu, that has that sole responsibility, according to the charter, to convene a meeting of the cabinet members, and there they can now select, they can now appoint and vote on who will be the acting prime minister until prime minister joins us. So in that process, Ogechukwu Nkere and one of our profs, I think he's the military, he is a military chief in Biafran Republic government. 2 of them indicated their interest to act as the prime minister until prime minister rejoins us. So they were voted for. 2 of them were voted for, and eventually 57 members 57 cabinet members voted, and eventually Ogechukwu Nkere was elected to be the acting prime minister. Okay, so I am responding to Biafran Unite. BRGIE is not a property of anybody. It's not even a property of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. It is not a property of Ogechukwu Nkere. It is a property of the Biafran people. It is Biafra Republic government in exile. Okay? Biafra Republic government in exile. So Ogechukwu Nkere, who is now the acting prime minister, was elected to act until the prime minister rejoins us. So how dare you say that he is the owner of BRGIE? That is the narrative that Ngozi Orabueze is sending to Biafra Unite to come online and deceive our people. One thing is certain: you can never deceive our people anymore. Our people are wiser. Let me remind Biafrans as well. When all these things was happening after the restoration of the declaration in Finland, Biafra Unite went mute, and he was hiding. He was very much hiding, because according to him, Ngozi have discovered his hideout, because he was speaking after the convention. There was an exposition he made about the Biafran Charter, where he lambasted Ngozi Orabueze and told Ngozi Orabueze that she is autocratic. She is autocratic. Who made her DPM? Because it is under the government, you must be elected. Under the Biafran Charter, you must be elected to represent your people. You cannot give yourself power. It is the people that decide who is their DPM, who is their APM, who is who. People vote in the cabinet. So Biafran Unite was questioning Ngozi how she came about the DPM. So I think that thing angered Ngozi and Ngozi and all the Irats that were following her at that time, including all these one Nigerianists and obidiots. They were fighting Biafra Unite. They were fighting the Biafran Charter. And after that episode, Biafra Unite now is like Ngozi discovered his hideout and threatened him, and he put his platform on sale. Somebody say he was fighting for freedom. All of a sudden, the platform that he was using to preach the gospel, he said he's going to sell it to the highest bidder. And tell me, you are in Nigeria, and who is going to buy it? Of course, those in Nigeria bought it for him. But he has to be the speaker. He has to be the user. And once they bought it, they have to tell him what to say. He has now turned back and is fighting our government. Ofu onye shiere ora ericha, but ora shiere ofu onye. All the very difficult to reach here. For the benefit of those who don't understand what I'm saying, when you go to a party now, if one person cooks for multitude, of course the multitude will finish the food. But if the multitude cook for you as an individual, you get tired, you can never finish the food. That is what I am using to illustrate to Biafran Unite. You can never fight our government and win. This government of Biafra is very, very solid. Is protected by the gods and goddesses of the land. This is the government that DavidNnannah Kano yearned for. This is the government that our prime minister waited for and made sure that it come to pass. Okay? Nobody can destroy the government. We are not longer in IPOB. We are not a group of individuals. No. We are a government. Wow. We are a government. And there is nothing anybody can do to destroy the government of Biafra. So, Biafra Unite, you come very late. You have come very late. And there is nothing you can do. No matter what you do, your paymasters will be disappointed. This is not the first time you are running away from your response. You said you are a Biafran and you can't see the handwriting on the wall. You are looking at Brigi and you said that it's owned by Ogechukwu Nkere. So Ogechukwu Nkere now is the one who owns the attorneys. Amanda Berry. Ogechukwu is the one who owns the lobbyists, Elias, and all the rest of them. So whatever we are doing it for Ogechukwu Nkere, including the finance ministry, what do you call it? The internal affairs and all the rest of all of them are Ogechukwu Nkere's business. Is that what you mean? You must be out of your mind, Biafran Unite, for saying such things. This is really unfortunate that a lot of people are falling at this particular time. The prophecy of Maazị Nnamdi will always come to pass. We have a lot of in-house enemies. In-house. And Biafra Unite have made himself one of the enemies of Biafra by coming out to criticize our government, by coming out to carry all manner of propaganda against our government. He has now brought out himself against our government, and you should be prepared. Biafra Unite, you should be prepared, because this is the government of the people. You know, when the people comes for you, you will never escape the wrath of the people. Very, very important. So having said that, let me go back to what we are talking about. So the reason why Nigerian government is buying all these news medias, is buying every international news media, is because they know the atrocity that they are committing in our land. They know all the evil that they are doing in our land. So they want somebody, they want platform that will project their image, protect their image as well. And they find that platform, one of those platforms, as REUTERS from Canada. That is why REUTERS will write all this junk telling you that 700 people died during our sit at home, but they did not tell you who killed them. I want you to understand that if there are people that are dying during our sit at home, it is the Nigerian government, the military, the police are the ones who are responsible for buying our people who are sitting at home. Yes, of course, we have proof. There are a lot of information out there on the social media. Even one of our sisters who happens to be a woman leader and as well a journalist, she traveled to the southeast to carry out some, investigations, private investigation. A woman at that, a woman for that matter. She went to Biafra land and she was being harassed by the Nigerian military. She saw them. They threatened her until she revealed her identity. So in such cases, you know that those who are committing atrocities during the sit at home is the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police. And why are they doing that? They thought or they think that when they kill people who disobey the sit at home, that they are going to use it against the Biafran people. They thought that when they kill people, that killing will stop the Biafran people from sitting at home. That is one of the worst propagandas that we have had in this 21st century. We, the Biafran people, are determined to exit Nigeria. We are determined that come what may, no matter what happens, Nigeria have killed us and continue to kill our people. We are no longer comfortable with. In fact, Nigeria expired on 2014. That is the bottom line. Nigeria that was amalgamated, there was a clause that after 100 years of forced marriage, that you people can now come together and revisit that agreement and agree to stay together or go your separate ways. So clause in that agreement came to expiration on 2014. And so as at 2014, Nigeria expired. There is nothing like Nigeria. Nigeria expired on 2014. Unless the people came together to renegotiate, to stay together, then you can say that Nigeria is still in existence. But as I am speaking to you right now, there was never such agreement. There was never such coming together to talk about how we are going to live together as Nigerians. So Nigeria expired in 2014, and that is why we say we are not going to renew that marriage with Nigeria anymore. Although we were not among those who negotiated the union in the first place, but then we were forced into it. But now that we are aware and Nigeria have expired, we decided never to renew it. We can never renew it. We are not Nigerians. We want to live our separate lives. Let the Arewas go their ways. Let Oduduwas go their ways. While we, the Biafrans, we make our own lives the way we want it. So that is why we are saying that we no longer comfortable in that contraction called Nigeria. That is why we have restored our Biafra nation. That is why we are sitting at home for the release of our leader DavidNnannah BTV, who was kidnapped from Kenya and is still held up to today. So anybody telling you that, oh, we are killing our people are dying when we are sitting at home. Yes, of course, the Nigerian government kills our people when our people, those of them who could not sit at home, the Nigerian government see them as soft targets and buys them. Once they buy them, they tell you that, oh, it is those who are sitting at home that are killing them. How are you going to kill the people who you are supposed to protect? Of course, we are fighting for Biafra for our people. We want our people to be alive to see Biafra. So how are we going to now turn back and start killing our people who we are fighting Biafra for? Is that possible? It is not possible. So we are protecting our people. We advise our people any day we are sitting at home. On Monday, sit at home is no-go area. Monday, sit at home is a no-go area. It's a no-go area for anybody. Of course, Biafrans are accustomed to it right now. Nobody goes out. Only the Nigerian government will be carrying their cars and parading all around the cities of Biafra, looking for a soft target to kill. So when they get and kill people, maybe they will tell REUTERS, oh, we have killed another. REUTERS will record it. That is why we were asking REUTERS, how did you get the figure of 700? Why didn't you tell us how Nigerian government were sending you the figures? Because they are the ones who are responsible for the deaths that is happening on sit-at-home days. Very, very important that those of you who don't understand should know that this propaganda of the Nigerian state will never sell. We are here to counter it. Please, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I can see you. Alozie. Thank you for joining me. Ambrose Alozie. Thank you. Please like, share. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube account, YouTube channel, please try and do so. Very, very important. I welcome each and every one of you. Wherever you are watching me from, please indicate I appreciate your presence. Yes, I must agree with my sister. You know, Biafra Unites is trying to do damage to our government, but he will never succeed. In the same vein, anybody who is aligning with Biafra Unite against our government is an enemy of our government, an enemy of our people. We understand one of our sisters, Daddy Oramma, who is doing exceptionally well. We will give it to her then, but it is quite unfortunate in some cases she now aligned with Biafra Unite in order to promote their propaganda or narrative against our government. It is not going to end well. It is not going to end well. If Adadio Ramma, you believe in Biafran Unite, you don't believe in your government, then you are not part of our government. For the singular reason that you are supporting Biafra Unite or sharing, or whenever he comes out to propagate all manner of propaganda against our government, you join to air his views, or you join to screen his channel live to the viewers when he's speaking against your government. It is quite unfortunate. It is quite unfortunate. We have asked a lot of people, if there is something that you don't understand about how our government works, you have an opportunity of asking questions. Onye ajụjụ adịghị efu ụzọ. I'm telling you, if there is any question that is bothering you on the activities of our government, how it should function, you ask questions. You can't be supporting somebody who is trying to destroy the government, who is trying to carry out propaganda against our government. It is quite unfortunate. It is quite unfortunate. Most of you are privy, most of you have had opportunity of speaking with our Prime Minister. Adadio Ramma, I'm talking to you if you are listening. You told us that your Obatobie sent a message to you. That message Obatobie sent to you specifically told you to tell Biafrans to fall back to Briggy. What is Briggy? Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Adadio Ramma said that. Now, Obatobie told you to tell Biafrans to use your platform and tell Biafrans to fall back to Briggy. Why? Why did Obatobie say that? Because he knows that Briggy is the vehicle that is carrying USB. Obatobie knows that Briggy, he knows that is what he has been working on. He knows that it's Briggy that is going to restore Biafra. He knows that it is Briggy that is going to, to recognize, to form the recognition of USB. He knows that everything revolves around Briggy. Now, Biafra Unite is now fighting against the same Briggy that Obatobie told you to go and tell Biafrans to fall back to. And you are falling to that crap, Adadio Ramma. You are falling to Biafra Unite's crap. This is really sad. This is really sad. Because you don't need to go to school to understand where our Prime Minister was coming from. You registered Briggy. Briggy is the exact organization. It's not an organization, it's the government. Briggy is a government that is actually speaking for our people. Okay? Briggy is the government that is holding USB. USB is just, we are declared our nation, but USB is not a free nation. We can only be free. We can only be free when Briggy, through the actions and activities of Briggy, have led to the recognition of USB. That is when, like I said yesterday, after recognition, then Briggy will form an administrative government in the homeland. Okay? Transitional government in the homeland. Briggy will see to the transitional government in the homeland after the recognition of Biafra. Then when the transitional government in the homeland is formed, that is the only time that Briggy will be dissolved. Oh my goodness me. This is very simple, but a lot of you don't understand. After Briggy have made USB to be recognized and form the transitional government in the homeland, where we have the governors, where we have our presidents and all the rest of them, put all the structures in place, that is the only time that Briggy will be dissolved. Then we will no longer be in exile. As long as you are in exile, you are still under the occupation of the terrorists. You are not a state, you are not a nation. So Biafra Unite and Adadioranjo, I don't actually understand the area you people are coming from. Obatobie asked you to fall back to the government because it is this government that is taking us to our destination. And you are now deceiving our people. Following Biafra Unite, who has been compromised. Biafra Unite has compromised his position because he first told us that Ngozi Orabueze have discovered. We now know that Ngozi Orabueze have been able to discover his hideout. He also told you that his studio is for sale, that he's going to sell it to the highest bidder. Now he made it, maybe he has sold it to the Nigerian state, and they have to use him. They have to now use him to fight Briggy. They have to now use him to fight our government. That is actually what he's doing now. That is actually what is playing out now. And you, Adadioramma, you are supporting that. The same government that Prime Minister asks you to fall back to. You are supporting Biafra Unite to fight against it. That is very, very sad. But it doesn't matter. One thing is certain. No matter how long you people try to fight and bring this government down, our government can never come down. This government is standing on a very solid rock. Okay? Nothing is going to even shake our government. Casey, I see you. Briggy is the keys to USB. Yes, tell them. They don't know. They don't know that Briggy is the key. Briggy is carrying USB. USB is there, the back seat. Briggy is carrying it. Carrying it to the destination. So when we get to the destination, it is Briggy that will drop USB. Then it is Briggy that will make sure that USB is recognized. Okay? So anybody telling you that he's a government, whereas he's in exile, that person is wasting his time or her time. Just like Ngozi Arabueze is telling you that when you blow whistle, the Fulani herdsmen, the police, and the terrorist army and police will disappear when they come to kill you. Is that not deceit? It's very, very deceitful. So I thank you all for joining me. Please like and share. If you have not subscribed to this my YouTube channel, please do so. We are still building the channel. We are still building it, until we have a studio. We have a lot of expositions to make, There is a lot of things to speak about. Nigeria has a lot. In fact, Nigeria will have us to contend with. UB Fidelis, thank you. Biafra Unite is really insane. Our government had been so lenient to each and every one of them. You see, one thing that gives me joy on all this thing that is happening is that DavidNnannah BTV told us that we have internal and external enemies. So each time somebody falls out, my mind goes to that prophecy, that word of our leader, DavidNnannah BTV. Each time somebody falls out. Oh, thank you so much, my sister Helen Peters. Thank you for being part of this morning's broadcast. I appreciate your presence so much, and every one of you that is here as well. So each time anybody falls out from the government and from what we are doing, my mind goes to what DavidNnannah BTV told us about the internal and external enemies. In this fight, nobody is indispensable, including myself. Okay? But one thing is very important. You must know why you are fighting for Biafra. You must know. Nobody whom Nigeria have happened to will now turn back and be part of Nigeria. If Nigeria has happened to you, and you have children, you have wife, your children are not living well, you are not giving your children what they need, and you are in America, where the government of America is taking care of American children, where the government of UK, France, are taking care of their people. Then you come to Nigeria. Nigeria is nothing to write home about. Then Nigeria is now subjugating you into suffering. Before you can be able to put food in your table, you have to suffer before you can make ends meet. A lot of your people died because there is no basic amenities. The government could not provide that. No job, no employment, nothing. Then with all these things that you have experienced in Nigeria, you still fall back to go to Nigeria, to support Nigeria with what you have passed through. Then something is actually wrong somewhere. If you are part of those people, if you find yourself in such category of persons, something is actually wrong with you. So I have heard, have seen, I have experienced Nigeria. I have. And God forbid that with what I have experienced in Nigeria, my children still pass through that. No, God forbid that. That is why, now that I'm living, I will use my life to fight for the betterment of the welfare and the well-being of my children, my sons and my daughter. Very, very important. So anybody who had witnessed Nigeria, who knows what Nigeria is all about, as against the Biafran people, and you are still following Nigeria to fight against the Biafran people, then you are insane and something is actually wrong with you. So Biafra Unite, you are in Nigeria, right? You sold your platform, you put it up for sale for the highest bidder in Nigeria. And now all of a sudden you are still using that platform to fight against the government that you were promoting before. Then we make use of our number 6. Something is wrong somewhere, and we actually know what is wrong. But one thing is certain, stay on your lane. Stay on your lane, Biafran Unite. You have to stay on your lane. If you can't stay on your lane, you will be bulldozed out of the way. Nobody have fought Biafra and win. You can't fight our freedom and stand your ground. No, you can never stand us. You can never stand us. So you better stay on your lane or you keep quiet. If you say you are an independent broadcaster, why are you using the logo of Biafran Republic Government in exile? I'm asking you, Biafran Unite. If you say you are not part of the Biafran Republic Government in exile, then why are you using our logo in your platform? The same thing applies to if Adadio Ramma is saying that she is an independent broadcaster, then you stop using anything that is a property of the Biafran Republic Government in exile. So that is where I'm going to end it this morning for each and every one of you who are now coming out to fight against our government. But then, bring it on. You are welcome. But I want you to know that Surugede is the dance of the spirit. If you want to dance Surugede with the government of the people, be prepared, because the spirits will certainly deal with you. So Biafrans, I appreciate each and every one of you who joined me this morning. Remember, although we spoke at length about so many things, but one thing that made me to come this morning is the false narrative of REUTERS news platform that is based in Canada, telling you that 700 people have died during our sit-at-home. But they did not tell you who killed these 700 people. And we want to make it categorically clear that deaths that occurred or that happened during sit-at-homes are deaths caused by the Nigerian state. Okay? Because the Nigerian government, through their terrorist army and police, Ebubago and all the rest of them, enforces the sit-at-home that the Biafran people are obeying in their territory. So if they see you come out, they will quite the person, and they now write it down to use it as a propaganda against our government. This is not the first time, it is not the second time, and it will not be the last time that they are promoting all this propaganda online. But we know the truth. The Biafran people know the truth. There are a lot of verifiable evidences against the Nigerian government concerning this sit at home. And we know they are the ones who are enforcing it, killing our people on a daily basis. Each day we sit at home. So we want the world to know that the Nigerian government are evil. They have been killing our people in order to discourage us from sitting at home, in order to stop us from sitting at home. But we have always told our people to beware of the Nigerian government atrocities in our land. It is better you sit at home so that your life will be with you. Because if you don't sit at home, the Nigerian government will use your debt to do propaganda. And you is going to lose yourself. You are going to lose. So, having said that, everybody should know that REUTERS is a platform that Nigerian government can buy as well, because they earmarked $20 billion to fight against our freedom. And they are doing all they can to discourage us from going ahead and moving ahead with our freedom. But one thing that they don't understand is that we are not going back. We have redeclared our nation. We are now working towards the recognition. And that is where we are at this particular time. And after that, we restore Biafra. And every one of us will be around to enjoy in the land of our ancestors. So I appreciate everybody this morning who joined me in this broadcast. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate our leader, DavidNnannah BTV, who is still in the custody of the DSS, paying price and sacrifices for our freedom. Ohamadike, we salute you. I also salute the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekwanjoko, who is also in finished custody, all answering questions in relations to Biafra. I also appreciate our acting Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, who is in Washington, D.C., speaking for the Biafran people, making their plight known to the American Congress. I also appreciate and salute the cabinet members who work day and night to make sure that our government stands. I appreciate the Biafran Defense Forces who are standing very strong, defending our land. I also salute each and every one of you who are contributing for the support of the freedom of our land. I thank you as well that joined me this morning. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe so that each time I come online, you will get notification. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will be signing out from here. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to be with each and every one of you. Ndewonu mu Chineke. Ebon.